about 20, I'm going nowhere. AKA MVP on him. Why would I take you up on this trip? You wasn't with me shooting a gym. Opportunity, my hands, I can't slip.
I experienced at Dukes and Boots, you know, I got my boots on the ground. Yeah. Some say Atlanta, but it's really Hampton. So Dukes and Boots, I can't even cap on Dukes and Boots. You know, for me, I saw the flyer, I'm like, you know, it look fire. I'm expecting it to be fire. But bro, so you know, I copped that expensive ticket just because it's like, it just looked fire. Everybody was hyping it up, this, that, you hear all the chatter, and you know, it wasn't even that for real. Because first off, with the parking situation was straight up horrible. I'm telling you, it took me like an hour just to park. On top of the ticket, you had to pay 20 for that parking. You know, they making their money regardless. But you know, it's all cool because we came to have good vibes. So I get parked at that grass lot, and you know, looking ahead, it's a lot of walking, bruh. A lot of walking. Go ahead, get through the middle detectors, blase, get to the next little staircase to go down to get to the track. And when we get to the staircase, you know, it's basically a one way in, one way out. And it's only like 2 steps on each side. So, you know, it's kind of jam-packed with people trying to get in, people trying to get out. I can't even lie, for content purposes, you know, the event was pretty smooth. But it wasn't as hyped up as it was for real. Because when you got in there, it was just a lot of standing around, people sitting down. And plus, it was extremely hot outside. Not really nowhere you could really duck off and, you know, get some shade. It was like one good area, but the air conditioning in that area just was straight up horrible. So at that point, it still didn't matter. It was like he was baking anyway. But when it came down to, you know, what I expected in my mind, what I expected in my head, it wasn't that. Feel me? I thought I was gonna see a lot of line dancing, you know, people riding horses, a lot of games, and it just wasn't that. But they had one area that was like, it was extremely ducked off. Like, you just had to know it was back there. You just had to been walking around just to really see it, because it took me like at least a couple hours to just discover that area. It was an area that was all the way back towards the Motor Speedway, but they had games, basketball, mechanical bull, zip lining, some slides, you know, stuff that people would look for and, you know, would want to have fun. And I didn't know that. I thought it was free for everybody, but apparently it was just, you know, the first 50 people, they get a free wristband. Other than that, you had to pay $20. So that made sense of why that area was never lit. Even the vendors, I'm not gonna say it was extremely ducked off, but it was kind of ducked off as well. Like, if you weren't doing a lot of walking, you were just never gonna come upon where the vendors were selling their merchandise at. And that area too, it was barely any people in that area as well. So I feel for them that paid their money and really didn't even get to promote their products like that. You know, I hate to say it, but I just feel like the Atlanta Dukes and Boots Festival was really just a money grab. You know, they just wanted something to make that bread. And you know, I know at events they do stuff to make a profit, because even at the college football games, you know, the water be overpriced, but water for $6 is crazy work. Water for $6? Yeah, alright. Just don't feel like it was planned out right, and I'm not the only one saying this.